And we want to bring you more on the story you saw to do with the EPA and the take-back policy they are calling for. Acting manager of the EPA has called on beverage production companies to place a 2% reward on any empty bottle returned by the public for the purpose of recycling. He made the call during a cleanup exercise at the Tema Harbour to mark World Oceans Day over the weekend. There's more in this report.
According to the UNDP, Ghana produces 1.7 million tons of plastic waste annually. These either end up in drains or carried away by running water into the ocean. This is a great setback to fishing expeditions. As part of activities to mark World Ocean Day over the weekend, the Environmental Protection Agency, in collaboration with the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, embarked on a cleanup exercise on a cleanup of the shores of the Tema Fishing Harbour. Acting Director of EPA, John Puamang, holds the view that beverage manufacturing companies that make use of plastic products should put in place measures to recollect the empty plastic bottles from the environment.
Yes, there is actually an LI, LI 2250, which requires those who manufacture beverages, water, and then also the soft drinks, that imposes upon them the responsibility to take back those containers after they are finished, after they have been used. So now all we have to do is to operationalize that law. We need to have engagement with the industry, engagement with the stakeholders, such as those ministries I talked about, local government, water resources, sanitation, and then maybe even Minister of Trade, because there is some manufacturing company, trade and industry, because people are manufacturing the plastics, the big industry in Ghana. We have to consult with all these so that we can operationalize that provision of LI 2250. What they can do is to put a small token on the container, just say maybe 1 peso or 2 pesos, so that when the container is returned, that money is paid to the one who brings it. And then the arrangement can be made for that money to be used, to organize, recycling companies.
This year's World Ocean Day celebration is under the theme Gender and the Ocean. Fred Dohos reports for JoyNews.
Now, Ghana's share industry is to receive a major boost as the Ghana Export and Import Bank commits 10 million Ghana cedis to the processing of shea into other cosmetic products, as well as for large-scale export from the northern region. Now, CEO of the Ghana Exim Bank, Lawrence Agyensam, disclosed that the 5-year long-term investment will help shore up Ghana's export value of shea. There's more in this report.
1,200 Shea collectors in northern Ghana will receive financial aid and safety tools under the Samira Empowerment and Humanitarian Project. 10 million Ghana cedis will be disbursed in the first phase to build the capacity of Shea collectors, processors and cosmetic producers in the rural areas. Lawrence Agyensam is CEO of the Ghana Exim Bank.
Over the years, our brothers and sisters in the northern region, as we are all aware, has been farming in the shea industry. There's been various interventions by UNDP, by the UN body, in how to be able to provide economic empowerment to the northern region. It is for this reason that we in Exim Bank decided that we will support our women in the northern region with what we called share empowerment.
As of 2017, Ghana earned $70.2 million from the export of shea butter products. Within the agricultural sector, shea nut was the second highest export earner with $34 million in 2015, behind cashew nut. Experts, however, believe that more can be done to boost exports of the commodity. Managing Director of Global Shea Alliance, Aaron Edu, spoke to Joy Business on the need to ensure value for money.
To ensure value for money for this project, we think that it will be more, it will be more beneficial to empower more women to do more collection. It comes in 3-4 months in the year, and so when collection is not increased, when we don't have enough of the kernels, then they will not be able to process the whole year. You have a 5 ton per day plant. month, and then if you don't stock enough kennels, so I think that a lot of effort should go into supporting the women to collect and store, and then we'll be able to have the processing done throughout the year.
Shea products are the second non-traditional food crop in Ghana, with over 300,000 farmers benefiting from the entire food chain. The shea nut industry offers employment for many individuals in northern Ghana, particularly women in rural communities who are involved in all of its value chain processes.
Well, in other news tonight, former Finance Minister said Tekwe has hit back at government over the current debt levels, warning of higher consequences considering the rate at which the government is borrowing to add to the debt stock, which is almost 200 billion cedis. His comment comes at the back or on the back of claims by the minority that Ghanaians may have to brace themselves to pay taxes as a result of the troubling debt situation. Meanwhile, the government has rejected the allegation, insisting that their rate of debt repayment is far higher than their predecessors. But Mr. Tekwe, in an interview with Joy Business, thinks otherwise. He's also suggested ways to pay for the debt.
I'm drawing Ghanaians' attention is that the own graph, the administration's own graph, and it's in the debt report also, shows that from 2017, the rate at which we are adding on to debt, that is, we are adding more than we are paying down, has started going up. And that should not be surprising. Why did we start going down? Remember, let me give one example only.
Yes.
Remember that we issued the 2007 bond, the very first.
Yeah, under President Kufuor.
Yes.
Yes.
By 2013, we realized that the redemption date is 2017.
Yeah.
So we capped the stabilization fund, and even when oil prices were going down, by the time we were leaving office, we had used nearly 340 million US dollars of Ghana's own oil revenue to start paying down that debt.
To start redeeming those coupons.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we did a refinancing. By the time we were leaving office, we had left 200 million US dollars, which was used October 4th, the due date, 2017, to pay off the balance.
You had $200 million in which
left in the sinking fund.
Sinking fund,
yes.
Okay. And that was what was taken and used in
redeeming the balance.
The balance, okay.
Now, such measures are what reduce a country's debt. You have to start small. You cannot, and we had the opportunity because oil revenue is new. And oil revenue is not already embedded in our expenditure patterns. And so if debt is a concern, then you must set up part of your new resources. And so with one oil field, we started. And nobody can tell me that we didn't have needs when petroleum prices fell. We also had needs. We could have prioritized current expenditure above debt.
Yeah.
But we didn't. Right? Because otherwise, we would have had to either default in 2017 on the 10th anniversary, of that bond when we needed to redeem it, because we hadn't been making provision. But I'm proud to say that we took it off. But I'm saying it is such factors, that's the important point I want to make, that we should have continued using the additional oil revenue. And remember, we are in a more comfortable situation. Why do I say that? 2 additional oil fields. Output has almost tripled, and crude oil prices have rebounded.
But your
Let's turn to other news tonight. Mining firm Goldfields Limited has begun a process to equip its local partners, including suppliers, on the company's new business model. This follows the decision to change its operations from owner mining to contract mining, which began over a year ago. Now, supply chain manager for Goldfields West Africa, Theophilus Otre, at the ongoing event, the Suppliers Conference, explained why this engagement is necessary.
For us at Goldfields, I think we've come to realize the importance of partnership. We have evolved over the years. Supply development remains one of our key metrics when it comes to Goldfields. And we've seen partner with some of these suppliers to one of the success stories that we've seen in the past. Look, if you take, for instance, where we started in terms of fuel, we've been able to develop a local company to the level of an international standard. So today they are successful, they are going into the West African market. It's all thanks to some of these partnerships. And we believe that bringing people together for such a big gathering also offers them the opportunity to bring up some of their challenges. We also have the opportunity to tell them some of the new things that are happening in the industry, share best practices. Today, innovation and technology is the biggest thing that is driving supply chain costs in almost every industry. And for Goldfields, we feel that this is also an opportunity to take them through some of the INT initiatives that exist in Goldfields.
All right, so joining us via Skype is my colleague Eben Sabote, who is attending the suppliers conference organized by Goldfields. Great to see you, Eben. So tell me a bit more about the conversations that are coming up at the conference.
Hi, Daryl. It has been a day of question and answer session. Between staff of Goldfields Mining Company and some of their suppliers. So we have more than about 200 of their suppliers assembling here from morning to evening. The program ended like 2 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, let me put it that way. And it has been between payment of invoices, supplying the materials for mining, to the issues of delay in disbursement of funds. Some of the suppliers think the company delays when it comes to payment of their suppliers and all that. But all these issues have been one way or the other addressed by the company. Another issue that came up also has to do with the fact that the change ownership mining to that money and the impact of some of these suppliers and the company as a whole. And like you heard the sustainability supply chain managers spoke earlier, it has been a successful journey so far. For them, it has been one of the models that they think it is the best for them to adopt. And I engaged some of the suppliers who also indicated to me that has also helped them because it gave them the opportunity to expand their business and all that. So the whole day it has been question and answer, interaction and all that. Another issue also came about local contractors getting most of the mining contract and how they are being engaged in the mines. There was a question about whether employing someone from local, that is Takwa or Takrade and all that. All these issues have been addressed one way or the other. We hope that this will enhance the operations of both parties.
Okay, so you talk about the fact that Goldfields is moving from owner mining or ownership mining to contract mining, and this is supposed to sort of educate them or make their work more efficient. What have you been hearing from the suppliers about this mode of operation by Goldfields rather?
So from the side of the suppliers, when this model has been introduced, when it was being introduced, they were having some hesitation as to whether it was beneficial to them or not. But after a year of its implementation, it has been successful, it has been beneficial to them. I spoke to one of them who supplies labor to the company, and he confirms that yes, previously it was Goldfields themselves that were employing the people, but this time around at least they've given them the opportunity to hire their labor and giving them that specification to choose from the local community. That alone has given them some boost, and they've been able to expand their company. So in all, the contract mining has been successful after a year of its implementation, and they hope to continue in the next decade or even more.
All right, Eben Sabote, live for us from Takwa there in the Western region. I appreciate your reporting this evening. Now, following the recent fire outbreak in parts of Accra, the Western Regional Office of the Stool Lands Commission, the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, and the Ghana Fire Service and other related agencies within the Western region have taken traders in the Central Business District of Takoradi through a day's sensitization workshop. It is to educate them on how to prevent and fight fires in the event of an outbreak.
The Takoradi Market Circle, which is the largest market in a circle in West Africa, was built over 60 years ago and has since not seen any major renovation works. This makes it prone to fire outbreaks, especially considering the fact that unapproved cables and inappropriate wirings and electrical connection characterize the market area. Chief Executive Officer of the GNPC Foundation, Dr. Dominic Edua, who spoke to Joy Business at the sidelines of the workshop, says market fires have become an annual ritual in Ghana. He noted It is time corporate institutions help in educating people to appreciate the impact on lives and property.
Given us by the need assessment that we did, we know this market, it's holding about 10,000 citizens of this country, 2,000 shops. So it tells you if there's an incident in this market, it's not going to be a good story to every Ghanaian. So we decided to come in the form of a preventive measure, not to wait for it to happen before we come and console them, but rather put measures in place that will stop it from happening. So that's exactly what we came here to do. Our assessment informed us that some of the already existing extinguishers were expired, so we have to refill. We've done that. We also bought the new ones that will be installed in places where they don't have at all.
Metropolitan NADMO coordinator for the Skendi Takrade Metropolitan Assembly, James Obin, says the gesture by the GNPC Foundation has come as a result of an assessment they did on the Central Business District.
And the people of Skendi Takrade, that plans are far advanced to put a new market for Takrade. But then once it has not commenced, there's a need for safety to be adhered or safety to be put in place. NADMO as an organization have taken a step ahead even before the GNPC donation. We have assessed this market, we've given our report to the STMA, we've also copied the sub-metro director, and I think based on our assessment, here's the GNPC Foundation coming in to give present the fire extinguishers.
Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Fire Service in the Western Region, Division Officer, Grade 3, Eboboni, says his outfit has intensified campaign on fire outbreaks and how to fight it.
Have about 36 fire extinguishers in the market. So this 19 has come to add up to the number that we have in the market. Then they will be easily accessible to the market women. And every week, there are about 30 departments. Every week we train one department. Every week we train one department. So now as we have more extinguishers in the market, we will the market women will have easy access to the extinguishers and they will be able to use it when in case there's an incident. So that is what we are doing. However, we are now intensifying the educational campaign. Now that we are experiencing little floods in the metropolis. So formally every fire has to go off by 5:30 p.m. Now it is going to be 5 p.m. so that they will close whilst the weather is not dark. And now at 6 p.m. the whole market will be closed and no one will be allowed in or out except the fire officers and the watchmen in the market. And for them,
the GNPC Foundation donated 19 new cylinders and refilled 11 old ones for the market circle. In Athalia Kwanzaa, Joy Business, Western Region.
Well, very important exercise, especially following recent fire outbreaks in major market centers in the country. Well, let's turn to another important story we are following for you tonight. The Controller and Accountant General, Kwesi Bosompem, has rejected allegations that government is working to privatize public sector payroll. Government's proposal to privatize its payroll so that it can manage the system more efficiently to deal with the problem of ghost names was strongly resisted by stakeholders, especially the TUC, who proposed changes at the Controller and Accountant General's department.
The wage bill has always been one of government's biggest challenges when it comes to prudently managing the expenditure. It has always taken up a chunk of revenue mobilized. For instance, in the 2019 budget, government is planning to spend 22 billion cedis on compensation. It is for this reason that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, last year announced that they are considering bringing in private hands to deal with the challenge. But speaking to Joy Business, the Controller and Accountant General, Kwesi Bosompem, said the proposal is no longer on the table.
Well, if you allow any ghost name to be on your payroll, it's not controller who will be held liable, but you, the MDA, and the head of the MDA will be responsible for that. Now we go strictly by the payroll timetable.
And at times we even pay a day or two before the due date. So it's something that we don't even talk about it. It's thing of the past, total. It's thing of the past.
Finally, said they were talking in the past of trying to bring in some private sector hands to help with this payroll management and all those things. What's the state of it as we speak right now?
Well, I read about it.
So it's not happening?
No, it's not happening.
And it's not on the table?
No.
Well, it is unclear for now whether recent announcement about 95% of ghost names on the wage bill having been cleared and the prompt payment of public wages could be the reason for this suspension.
Now, Communications Officer of Toronto Mines, Kwapna Osu Amprechum, has debunked reports that some international mining companies, including Toronto, continue to fleece Ghanaians through non-payment of dividends. There have been some concerns about that mining firms have not been consistent with dividends payment or have not paid dividends in a long time. But speaking on the sidelines of the Maiden Health, Environmental Security and Safety Awards in Accra, Mr. Amprechum noted that Toronto abides strictly by its corporate values, which include paying the required dividends.
Being an outstanding corporate citizen, which is part of our core values. Toronto, if you remember, in 2018 paid a dividend of $13 million to the government of Ghana, and this was after we declared profit. Besides the dividend, we have made sure that the Ghana Revenue authorities and our own external auditors audit our accounts effectively. We have a government of Ghana representative on our board to make sure that our finances are clean and clear. And so we have no intention of shortchanging government. In fact, payment of dividend alone is not what we have done for the government. Over the past 10 years that Ken Ross Charan has operated, we've contributed over 2 billion cedis to the economy of Ghana through royalties, through taxes, through even employees. We are having about 95% of our employees being Ghanaian. And in fact, we have over 40% of those people coming from the local communities. We've built schools for them. We've built, we've built hospitals for them. We have cleared the road for them. In fact, because of the road network that we've cleared in the area, economic activities have picked up. And we do our local, whatever we buy, we make sure that about 75% of our purchases are done in country. So besides paying our dividend, besides being a good corporate citizen, we are contributing positively to the Ghanaian economy.
And that's our program tonight. Thanks for watching. More news on our website, joybusinessnews.com. There you go. You have the day's latest stories over there. To keep yourself updated is joybusinessnews.com. You have that story, Kenya Airways to double fleet over 5 years on path of profit. You want to read more about that? My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We are back same time tomorrow.